Morning and welcome to the channel. It's the 1st of November, Halloween last night, and we've got a brief respite from days and days of rain. So I thought I'd get out and enjoy the beginning of November. It's always a difficult time, dark days, cold nights, lots of rain, and months of this to come. And I do find the only way is to embrace it and enjoy it for what it is. So today I've set off from a little hamlet really called Potterton on the outskirts of Leeds. It's a walk I've done a few times, and you can go to lots of places really from here. The track I was just walking down that runs along the side of this woodland. That's Park beyond there. Some lovely permissive footpaths and nice walks. This is shown on the map as Thornham Moor that I'm walking on now, and is heading towards Leeds. Not quite sure where I'm going to go today, but there is a little circuit I have in mind that goes through some nice woodland, past the stream, and then back, hopefully in time for a late lunch. I have a feeling it might be a little muddy and a little wet in places. But let's see how the morning unfolds. Just about reaching the top of Thornham Moor now, and it's nothing like the moors on the Yorkshire Moors National Park or the Dales National Park. We're very much in the foothills of the Pennines here, but it is a little bit of a climb up in all directions, and there are some nice views. Looking east, there's just the woods of Bramham Park, but not far from the other side of there you reach the Vale of York. So as I say, we're within a few miles of the start of the Pennines, and going that way, going west towards Leeds, the hills just get bigger as you head towards the Pennines proper, as you also do to some extent heading north. And south it's more of the same, the foothills of the Pennines, and then to the left would be the Vale of York. And to give you some context as to where we are, wind turbines at Hookmore, near to Lotherton Hall and Micklefield, by the side of the A1, about halfway between London and Edinburgh. But the highlight, if it is a highlight to anybody other than nerds like me, is that there is a trig point here. These were installed to help in map making the 20th century, I think, and they remain all over the country. Their entire website's dedicated to them. It's marked on the map, and I can't remember the height. I'll put it on in the text. Anyhow, onwards. Not sure if I said already, but we've had absolute days and days of rain, and today is the first dry, even moderately sunny day that we've had, so that's why I thought I wouldn't miss the opportunity of going out. Now, it's just across the fields there. This path runs into the Leeds Country Way at a walk I'm halfway through doing. It goes 60 miles around the perimeter of Leeds. I did that originally when I started making podcasts, which are available on the channel to listen to. I went from Garforth to Golden Acre Park. Probably got about half of it, 2/3 of it still to do. But here, in a few hundred yards, we can turn right, go through Thorner, head out towards Bardsey. Turn left, head back towards Barrick. onto an area of woods called Sawwood, which runs along the side of the A64. So I'm going to head in there, see what we can see. I doubt it'll be any less muddy. It might be a little bit more pretty. I think it seems pretty clear why they've cut this tree down. Seems to be rotting from the inside out. Let's see if I can look up what it is when I get home. I hope they're leaving that there though, because it's great for nesting birds and insects. Apparently today is All Saints' Day. Not something I know a right lot about. It's also the day of a Celtic festival. Last night was Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and today apparently is All Hallows Day. Not sure whether I should be thinking spooky thoughts or whether that was just for last night. If you do know about All Saints' Day or the Celtic festival, then please leave a comment and enlighten me. We're almost at Sawwood now. The Leeds Countryway goes through the wood, and there are other footpaths that head over towards the villages of Skulls, as well as Barrick and Helmet. Now, I was expecting some water, maybe not quite as much. Just being got in the head by a thorn, which is still in my head. I was about to say my boots were waterproof, but they've seen much better days, and one of them has a big split up the side, so I think I may well have wet feet before the day is out. So the path here goes left back to Potterton, or right towards Thorner. I'm just going to go right and explore the woods a little. May come back this way, I'm not sure, it just depends how bad the paths are. Not sure if this is recent. It's a while since I've been here. But as I said, we've had a couple of storms already. I think it is recent because it's still, yeah, it's still in leaf. Looks like there's been some life here. A little fire pit and a shelter. But this is what I came out to see on the 1st of November. Just to remind myself how amazing this season is leading up to Christmas. And then of course January and February are just as remarkable in their own way. And by the end of February we're only a few weeks away from spring. The biggest dog. Quite appropriate today. Footpath via watery lane. The path here takes you to Thorner and then to Scholes if you go left, but I'm heading on down here through Salwood. I did speak to the owner of the dog. I thought for a minute it was some phantom hound of the forest that had come to greet me. Not sure what's been going on here with the vehicle tracks. I would imagine some forest operations. But yeah, whatever they've been doing, it's been messy work. Thankfully, our path heads down here with a fallen tree. Been here for a while though. It is delightful in here. I'm getting closer to the A64, which is the main road that runs from Leeds to Scarborough. I've already crossed it once. Further out. Need to cross it again. Sometimes it's a bit of a breeze getting over it, and other times you could be stood there for 10 minutes waiting for your chance. The beauty of a nice log pile. I just found a fallen tree to sit on for 5 minutes, had a little drink of tea and some biscuits, which is everything I've brought with me. And of course, I think I said at the beginning, this was a quick walk and I was heading home for lunch, but it just never seems to work out like that. The problem is, once I'm out, especially on a day like this, I'm never too keen to rush home. Where there's only housework or editing videos. There was a farm on the A64 opposite where this footpath comes out, and I've noticed that when I was passing in the car that it's been sold for housing. Obviously, not as much call for farms as there is for housing. Just a small matter of getting across here. Made it. one piece. Quite a nice little path this. Unfortunately, the farmer has seen fit to plough every last inch of it. Which, a day like today, makes the going quite difficult. Thankfully, this field's not ploughed, so it should be a little bit easier going. See you at the top. The woods in the distance is over towards Potterton, where I'm heading, and then the woods in the distance there is Sawwood with what was the farm. We just dropped down here into the edge of Barrick, but don't go into the village. Again, I covered that on the Leeds Country Way podcast. I'll probably go back and visit because there's some interesting things to see in the village. But for now, I am heading back, and the weather is definitely changing. If you look from the southwest, rain clouds, the winds really got up, and it's a little bit colder than when I set off. So the weathermen and women must have got it right. The storm is on the way. It's a right old gate, this. Must have been some ancient entrance to the farm, possibly. There is Barrick, and behind it the wind turbines at Hookmore once again. That was it for today for Barrick in Helmet, just a very short walk along Rakehill Road. Just skirted the very edge. Now heading back through the fields towards Potterton. This is a ford. In ancient times, you would have taken your horse and cart through there on your way to Thorner. And this is actually quite a nice green lane, but it seems to be not used as a public thoroughfare. The path instead goes off on the edge of the field to the right there. That would traditionally have been the right of way, I think. And another friendly keep outside. Which seems as if it's been ignored. See you at the top. Left Barrack behind now. It is a very interesting place. It's got a ancient earthwork in the middle. That was later used as I think to put a Norman fort on, but, and I'm guessing here, correct me if I'm wrong, I think originally was there since the Bronze Age, as was that area there defined by the trees. As I say, I will go back one day, but that's a very large earthwork surrounded by ditches and banks, and the settlement in ancient times would have been on top of there. So there's been people living here for many thousands and thousands of years. No idea why the path, the Leeds Country Way, comes up the outside of that green lane. It would be a delightful little walk through there. Who knows? Weather really has changed now. It's got very dark. Also here back on the Leeds Country Way that we walked along a little bit at the beginning of the walk. Today's walk's been circular, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles, and this area to the east and to the north of Leeds, it is lovely for country walks. We're only about 7 or 8 miles from the city centre, and there are endless walks you can go on. It's the same to the south and the west, but it's just a little bit more built up there. I really hadn't been walking that much in this area until the COVID and the lockdown, and like everybody, I had to explore a little closer to home, and I discovered what a lovely place it is, even as close as we are to a big city. So these walks now have really become a staple. I still like to get in the car or on the train and head up to the dales or the moors or the wolds, but I can't always be bothered driving an hour and a half to go on a walk. It seems to be defeating the object, really. So time and again I come back to these muddy fields on the edge of Leeds, and apparently this that runs along the side of all the hay is a private road. Not sure why you'd want to splodge your way down there. Wet hay smells remarkably like cannabis. I think this bridge needs a bit of maintenance, whoever's responsible. Sticking to the edge because I don't really trust these timbers. That tree could do with a trim as well. Okay, so this is the reason my walk went from being a short walk through Sawwood to a long circular walk, really, so I could walk through this little farm. It's one of those places that gives me a bit of hope when I'm out and about. I think it's called Kidall Quarry Farm. I don't know much about them other than what I've read on the internet, but they seem to be very much into working with nature. And so as you go around the footpaths, there's new hedgerows being planted, and all along the stream bed here is an orchard. All the little trees you can see are apples. All different varieties as well. It's going to be incredible in 50 years' time. Delightful up here in summer. Great place to have a picnic. It's that time again. I have no food, but I still have some tea, so I'm going to finish that off. I think they have a camping field, and a few years ago they put up a compost toilet. And that was quite a random thing to see. I'm nearly back at the A64 now, just passing through Kidall Quarry Farm. The other side of the main road is Wood that I was in earlier. I'm just going to double back now and head back to Potterton. I'll just go a little bit this way. There's a culvert that runs under the main road. And we've had a lot of water. So I'm going to see what that's like. Not so bad. That's enough of that. I'm ready for my lunch and a cup of tea. can hear me above the wind, Storm Kieran is really starting to blow a little bit now. I just wanted to say thanks for joining me on what has turned out to be a much longer walk than I anticipated. Note to self, take lunch with you every time you go for a walk, because you have a tendency to get carried away. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up and like it. Do consider subscribing if this type of content is what you like to watch. And if you have got any comments on where I've been today, what I've seen, then please do leave me a comment and I'll try and get back to you. But for now, and until the next time, I'll say cheerio.